Hey, what's going on, everyone? So today, do a little video for you guys. Take a little trip down memory lane of movie tickets that I've had since at earliest 2012. They're not like the earlier tickets that I used to collect in the early 2000s, but I lost most of those tickets. So the first movie we have is The Dark Knight Rises. This movie was amazing. Not as good as The Dark Knight. I still like that one just a little bit more. I think seeing Batman, I was hyped when I saw Batman in the trailer. You know, he's all screaming and getting his butt kicked by Bane. I think that's what did it for me. That was such a great way to end the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy. So next we have Rogue One. This movie I saw multiple times in the theater. This was an amazing movie. The biggest moment I remember in the theater is when Darth Vader is in the hall. He's slicing up all these guys with the lightsaber. I think everybody in the audience was just cheering and going crazy when they saw his lightsaber reveal. That was probably an amazing Star Wars movie since Revenge of the Sith, I would say. It just had a really epic story. Next we have the Rush Time Stands Still, a famous band called Rush, and this was a documentary about their origin, and it's a prog rock band. But they're one of the famous prog rock bands out there. Next we have Doctor Strange. You know, there's a lot of this with the hands and all this, and just, you know, it was cool. It was cool. It was kind of different from all the other Marvel movies, but yeah, I mean, it was interesting. It was interesting to say the least. Next, we have the Lego Batman movie. It was funny. Next, we have Logan. This was the conclusion to Hugh Jackman's character to Wolverine. This was another movie in the theater where everybody was cheering, going crazy. Right in the opening scene, he gets his ass kicked from all those cholos in the beginning. And he's slicing all these guys' arms off and shit and stabbing them. And that intro alone was already like, damn. It was an emotional roller coaster, that movie. I wasn't ready for him to call it quits as Logan. Next we have Kong Skull Island. Didn't really do that much for me, but at the time when I first saw it, I didn't like the story of it, because why isn't this not the Kong and woman Bond type of romance movie? And it's actually now turning into more of a monster verse. They're trying to set up something bigger for these monster characters, kind of get it going for them to start fighting bigger monsters out there. Beauty and the Beast was a great movie. It's got Emma Watson. It's pretty accurate to the cartoon, so be our gaze, but this service to the test. Next we have Power Rangers. Power Rangers, I think I saw like about 3 times. First time I liked it, and then second time I was like, I don't know, there's something else, something's missing. I think I saw it one more time. I think it was trying to be too serious at times, and then I was really hoping that they would have played the Power Rangers theme more. Next we have La La Land, directed by Damien Chazelle. This is the same director who did Whiplash and First Man. I thought in La La Land, in this movie, it was a lot more accurate, and the way music is in jazz and the way it's kind of seen and heard. But I really love that movie. I saw that movie about like 4 times in the theater, and I got emotional watching that movie. There were some tears in that movie for me. Next we have Fate of the Furious. These movies, man. Just the whole movie is just one last ride. One last Skittle. Like, I just like those movies just because of the cheesiness of it, but physics and timing of that movie is just like ridiculous. They've defined the laws of physics in those movies, so that's why I really can't take those movies serious, because it's also CGI a lot. So Next we have Guardians of the Galaxy. I think this was volume 2. Great movie. I still like the first one. Second one was pretty good. There was a lot more like humor in it, but less, I guess, action. I didn't really like this one as much. Next we have Pirates of the Caribbean. I think this is Dead Man Tell No Tales. This one was actually pretty good. It just sucks about Johnny Depp that, I wish he could have continued this character in the future, and I don't know if we will ever be able to see him again play this character. But anyway, next we have Wonder Woman. This movie was This movie was good. The first one was good. I enjoyed the first one. You know, every time she was on screen, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, you know, I just kept like whispering to my friend, like, I just remember, you know, scenes that she had with that actor Chris Pine, and I would just mutter under my mouth, you know, I'd be like, lucky son of a bitch. She just looked really pretty in that movie. I just forgot what I was watching, you know. But I really do love her performance as Wonder Woman. I did not like the second one at all. It was that one was just a waste. Next, we have Spider-Man Homecoming, first story with Tom Holland's performance as Spider-Man. He sets the bar, and he's always separated from all the other superheroes, so amazing performance by Tom Holland. Next, we have Atomic Blonde. This was some really cool fight scenes, really cool like action sequences and stuff, but yeah, I don't know what the movie's about. There was a scene in there where they threw in a Depeche Mode song behind the wheel, and it starts off with like this, you know, synthesizers that they would use in the 80s, and it would do this dun 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 dun. And then I remember again, I went to go see it with my friends, and I just looked at them, and I would just start grooving, and then my other friend hated it. He's like, dude, you play that song all the time. Turn that shit off, man, you know. Next, we have Blade Runner 2049. This was an amazing movie visually. This movie just did wonders for the eye. The cinematography, it won Best Cinematography. Movie story-wise, it's not very intriguing. It's just more of like the visual aspect of this movie. Ryan Gosling, amazing performance, and Harrison Ford, again, seeing him. I think I saw this movie like 3 or 4 times in the theater. And seeing the movie on screen and hearing the music, it just was unreal. Next, we have Thor Ragnarok. Man, I saw this movie like 4 or 5 times. Such an amazing movie. I still like this one better than Love Thor and Thunder. I did not enjoy that one as much. I only saw it once in the theater, but Thor Ragnarok, just for some reason, it gave you everything. Next, we have Murder on the Orient Express Train. I forgot, just a bunch of actors in this movie. I'm not sure. Next, we have Justice League. Oh man, I don't even want to get into it. It would take another video of this, but I don't want to relive my pain from that movie. Next, we have Star Wars The Last Jedi. This was another movie where I came out of the theater, and I was with my friend Aaron, and you know, we're walking to the car, and finally get in the car, and we're about to drive off, you know, because I've kind of kept my head down, you know, because I want to say what I want to say, but just not in front of, you know, people. So I waited until we got in the car, and finally looks at me. He's like, "Did you like it, man? What's wrong? Are you alright?" Like, he looked at me. He's like, "You good, man? Like, did you like it? What'd you think?" And I'm kind of just, you know, I mean, yeah, you know, the movie was, you know, it had its, what do you mean? What do you mean? He would get all mad at me. As soon as I opened my mouth, I said, I honestly did not enjoy it. I did not like it at all. It's like, what are you talking about, man? He just went, nah, shut the fuck up, you know. But no, I'm sorry. I did not like that movie. But I will say I do like The Last Jedi more than the last one, the Rise of the Skywalker. Next we have Jumanji. Oh yeah, it's got The Rock and you know, Kevin Hart in it. The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman, amazing performance again. He's show his Broadway talent in singing and dancing and acting all in one. Next we have Black Panther. Black Panther. This was a movie I was really excited for. Once again, hate to call him out, but you know, my best friend Aaron. You know, I was really hyped for this movie, and then I see the movie with him, and he made me not want to watch the movie after a first time, because he kept like narrating, saying, "Dude, that's me up there. Dude, I'm that's all me right there, man. Yeah, that's me. B. Jordan, that's me, man. Dude, look at the way he dresses. Like, that's the way I dress." I'm like, so he kind of ruined it for me for that movie. I just really couldn't enjoy it as much. But calling you out here. Tomb Raider. This was a good movie. It was an origin story about Lara Croft. it's paying more tribute to the current video games. I still prefer the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider over this one. But yeah, it was alright. Ready Player One, Steven Spielberg directed it. This was a great movie that he directed specifically. But it's just, there's so much in that film. Like, there's so much. Like, so. It's just a nostalgic movie, to say the least. Next, we have Overboard. Overboard was this is the new reboot version of Overboard. It's pretty much the exact same, except the roles are reversed. Next, we have Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 is an amazing movie. This was another movie I saw about 4 or 5 times in the theater. Every time I saw it, it just got better and better. The comedy in this movie was just off the charts. I mean, Ryan Reynolds' humor was just all left and right. I enjoyed this one more than the first one, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen for Deadpool 3, bringing back Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, so we'll see. Next, we have the Han Solo movie, and this movie was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I don't know, something about that actor portraying Han Solo. I don't know. I wasn't convinced enough. I don't know if it's the mannerisms of the way Harrison Ford would interpret the character, but I didn't really enjoy his version of Han Solo, even though he's supposed to be really young. This is supposed to be before earlier Star Wars movies, but I don't know, I didn't really like his performance as much as Han Solo. But other than that, it was pretty good. Incredibles 2, I saw this movie by myself. I went in thinking like it's gonna be a movie, that's gonna have a bunch of people from my era that grew up watching it, and nope, it was a bunch of 5-year-olds watching it. I still like the first one better. Just did not have the same feel as the first one. Next, we have Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom and Avengers: Infinity War. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I like that one more than the recent one, the Jurassic World Dominion. Fallen Kingdom, it was good. The first half of the movie, and then the second half, I was like, it's all right. Avengers: Infinity War. It was a big movie. I mean, what the hell? I mean, Tortelloni. Ant-Man and the Wasp. It was good. I think I only saw that movie like twice in the theater. It's funny. I think I like the first one better. Next, we have Mission Impossible. Man, this movie I think I saw the most in theaters. I saw this movie about maybe 7 to 8 times in the theater. I was still seeing this movie even in the dollar movies. It's one of the best, like, realistic, authentic action movies of our generation. Things that are real stunts performed by Tom Cruise. I don't know what to say. I don't make the rules. Mustard ketchup. Next we have Alpha. That was a great movie. It's one of those like survival movies. It's about like a tribe, and this young guy is trying to find himself and trying to earn his trust from his tribe, and really great movie. I even cried in that movie. Next we have Kin and Venom. Kin, I don't even know what the hell that's about. Thanks, Aaron. Next we have Venom. Venom was a really good movie. I liked the first movie. It was a good like introduction to a character that we've never seen before on screen. It had its moments, but I don't know. Yeah, there was something lacking. I thought personally in that movie. Seeing Eddie Brock talk to himself with the symbiote, it was pretty interesting in some parts. Next, we have A Star Is Born. This movie was amazing just because of how emotional it is. I mean, directed by Bradley Cooper. And Lady Gaga really got to like shine in this movie. She got to really show her acting chops in this movie, and then let alone she got to also sing with some really good range. And she even won best song, original song in this movie. The ending was the hardest part to get through, but it's such a great movie. Next we have Bohemian Rhapsody. This one was a pretty good movie. I don't know too much about Freddie Mercury. I really don't. I mean, I know he's the singer of Queen, but I just love the band. I think that's why I went specifically. All the things that happened in his life, I mean, it was pretty, like shocking and everything that happened, but it was such a good movie, though. I personally liked it just because of the music part of it. I mean, I'm sure other people and fans were really upset because it, probably wasn't accurate in some other personal levels. So next we have Creed 2. This was such an amazing movie. I like this one again better than the first one, just because of the whole tension. Finally concluding Adonis Creed's tension between his rival Ivan Drago's son. It ended on such a high note. I honestly think if they do a third one, I hope it's better than the second one, because they could have ended it with the second one. And I really loved Michael B's performance, Sylvester Stallone's performance, even seeing Dolph Lundgren again. And it was practically like watching Rocky 4, but in a modern take, and then also concluding the story of Rocky and Adonis and Ivan Drago, and concluding their grudge match. So next we have Ralph Breaks in the Internet. I mean, yeah, he broke the internet. So it was good. Next we have The Mule. It was an amazing film, directed and starring Clint Eastwood. We had such a great message that he was trying to say in this film. Spending time with your loved ones is, you don't get that second chance, and he was just trying to do the right thing. So, and I just, yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, he's almost 90 years old, so starring in a movie and then writing and directing, so it's like, come on, like, how can that guy do it, Next we have Into the Spider-Verse. Man, this movie I saw about, another 4 or 5 times. Man, it just made my eyes kind of like cross, because I was like, what the hell am I watching here? It was just very, it looks so good, but it also looks so sharp that, I was starting to squint in the theater, and it just looked very sharp, in your face. Amazing movie. I'm excited for the second. Next we have Bumblebee. Man, this was more like the original Transformers series and comic books. I just loved the look. I loved that intro when they're on Cybertron and everybody's fighting, and I kind of hope that they keep going in this direction with these, specifically with these solo Transformer movies. So I really like this one a lot. Next we have, I went to go see The Matrix in the theater at Alamo Drafthouse. I mean, that was a movie that was always part of my childhood, and I always have to go see those movies again in the theater, because when I was a kid, I don't remember those movies, and so experiencing it again as an adult, it's like you're watching it for the first time again. So next we have Avengers Endgame. It was a bittersweet end to that phase in Marvel, and I'm sorry, but ever since Endgame, Marvel is not the same. I'm sorry. But yeah, I remember watching that movie in the theater, and again, I'm watching it with my friends, and we're all we're all excited, yelling, But yeah, again, it was a bittersweet end to that phase in Marvel. Next, we have Godzilla King of the Monsters. Oh man, this was a really cool monster movie. Godzilla, he's watching him on screen. He always delivers. Come on. He doesn't even need to know the dialogue. He just... Next, we have John Wick Chapter 3. My favorite roles for Keanu Reeves right now. He really does give you an authentic performance in these movies. But I'm really curious to see the 4th chapter. So next we have X-Men Dark Phoenix. This was the conclusion of the X-Men, all the X-Men phase, of 10 years since 2000, with Bryan Singer being the director. And this was the last movie that Fox released as far as the X-Men franchise. And I liked it, but I was still kind of mad because I knew this was the last time we were going to see the X-Men again in one movie. We'll see what happens with that franchise. We'll see. Next we have Toy Story 4. Oh man, this was a pretty good movie. All the digital artwork, it just keeps getting better, just looking more realistic each time a Pixar movie comes out. And Toy Story 4 was really amazing visually. I think I like Toy Story 3 probably a little bit more still, just because I think the way it ended. I was happy that they did that with the toys with Woody going off on his own, but kind of I don't know, I kind of had mixed feelings about it still at the end, but it was still good. Next we have Spider-Man Far From Home. Oh man, this was an amazing movie. Watching Jake Gyllenhaal play Mysterio, and also seeing Mysterio as a villain for the first time in a Spider-Man movie, that that was really awesome to see. The whole illusions and everything, but that was a really great Spider-Man movie. Next, we have the Lion King live-action movie. Much exactly the same. I know everybody always says it's pretty much a copy and paste to the cartoons, but honestly, with those Disney movies, it's no one's gonna ever be happy, because if you do it exactly like it, people complain. If you don't do it exactly like it, people still complain. So it's like, I don't understand. So like, I go just to relive that childhood nostalgic watching a movie that I used to watch a lot when I was a kid. You know, the cartoon at least. Yeah, it was good. It's the same thing, but it was good. Next, we have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Just has it has the best of these actors, and you know, Quentin Tarantino's writing is just amazing. It's very unique, and I love his sense of humor. I love the way it makes you really feel when you watch his films that these actors really give their best performance and show it on film. And I just really love his movies. His movies never disappoint. He'll be a favorite director of mine. I'm hoping that we would get filmmakers that would try to emulate his work. I love his movies. Next, we have Hobbs and Shaw. Oh my God. I forgot honestly why I saw this movie. I remember my friends and I, we kept looking at the trailer and we're like, dude, we gotta see it. And I was like, but no, I don't think I want to see this movie. But it was like cheese on top of cheese on top of cheese. And I get more of a laugh out of these movies because of how stupid they are. Rock and roll! I don't know. But anyway, I saw it. Next, we have Rush. They're talking about their tours and the new music, and it's another great story too. They even give you some more backstory of how they would be on the road and stuff. We have is Rambo 5, and this was a great movie. I really liked it, but it was pretty much like Home Alone with booby traps, and he's killing all these guys. So it was good, but you know, I like Sylvester Stallone, but just, you know. Next, we have Ad Astra. It's about a realistic movie about space. It was a great movie. I liked the score. I liked the visual aspect. Kind of reminded me of Interstellar, but it was a good movie. Next, we have Joker. Right from the start, I already knew that this was going to win some sort of Oscar, some sort of award, just because of Joaquin Phoenix, because he always does very serious roles, very dramatic roles, and he won Best Actor, and it even won Best Music Score, and I really loved his performance as the Joker, and getting a solo Joker movie alone was something that I was very anticipated for, because I never thought they would make one, but they did, and I was completely blown out of the park, and I really loved this movie. I'm really excited to see what the sequel with Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn, and I'm really excited to see what Todd Phillips is going to do with the second one. So next, we have Knives Out, directed by Rian Johnson, and this was amazing dialogue script movie. I really love mystery movies like this. It kind of reminded me of a Tarantino film, just the way it was orchestrated, and I loved it. Next, we have Uncut Gems. It was probably one of the best performances by Adam Sandler as far as drama. This movie gave me anxiety and just gave me all sorts of stress watching it. I really loved the music in this film. It was amazing, but I still don't like seeing the ending. Spoiler is that Adam Sandler gets killed in the movie, and it was so hard to see that. Like, I don't know why. It made me sad when I saw him get shot. But I really loved the movie. It was an amazing movie. I'm just so mad that he did not get a award for that movie. Next, we have Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I had no words when I saw that movie. This is the way the saga is going to end. I'm just going to pretend I'm going to erase the last two Star Wars movies from my brain, because, man, I hated it. I'm sorry. Next, we have is 1917, directed by Sam Mendes. He did Skyfall, the 007 movie. This movie was incredibly beautifully done. Specifically, the way it was shot. I think they did in total, it was 3 or 4 takes in total, but they're really long shots the whole way. You're just following the characters and the scenery and the running and everybody. And it's just amazing. I loved that film. Next, we have Sonic the Hedgehog. I I really liked this one. Jim Carrey's performance in this one. It was good to see him come back to a comedy movie. I laughed a lot watching him. And Sonic being Sonic, it was a really good combination. You had the best of both worlds. You had a really cool video game character, and then I had an actor from my childhood. Be free and be creative and be funny. And that was a real treat for me, at least. It was a really great film, and I liked it so much. So now this is when the pandemic hit. And Sonic the Hedgehog was the last movie I saw, and that was on February 14th of 2020. It was Tenet. I just loved his concept. He's such an amazing director. Another director ahead of our generation, ahead of our time. And I love his movies. I'm really excited for the next one that he's doing. Next we have Godzilla vs. Kong. I could not wait till this film came out. I was so excited to see this in the theater. I remember my other buddy, Javi, he was sitting in front of me in the theater, and he's a big Godzilla fan, and I just wanted to see the monsters fight, but he's like, nah, Team Godzilla, man, Team Godzilla, And I just remember, like, every time Godzilla and King Kong would fight, I just see his fist go up. He's like, got that smirk. And he would get all excited, He's like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Godzilla, it's my boy. I always have to see those movies on screen. They're just amazing. Next we have Val, based on the actor Val Kilmer. And man, I really loved this documentary. It's basically a movie about his life, and man, it's really sad, what Val Kilmer has gone through with his throat, the throat cancer, and man, it's really sad, but it's such an amazing documentary. It's probably one of my favorite documentaries on an actor. I love all his films. I grew up, watching his films. The Batman, The Saint, Tombstone, The Doors, Ghost in the Darkness, At First Sight, all those, even Top Gun. I mean, come on, like he's such an amazing, humble actor, right? And I really loved that documentary. It's on Amazon Prime, and I still watch it. So